Welcome, my name is Chad Smith. I'm an instructional designer, UX UI designer. I am also an xAPI consultant. So right now what I've done is I have set up a JWplayer. With this JWplayer we're going to be tracking xAPI interactions. So any interactions that the learner has with the video, we're going to track that utilizing the JWplayer. JWplayer is nice because we can insert JWplayer into any website, or you can put it on your LMS because you're just simply building a web template, and you're going to put it out. So I originally used Phil Gardner's example, and it was good, but it didn't work well for my needs. So I just redesigned this so that it would work a little better for my needs. What I've done here that's a little bit different is we have a title on it here that is going to name your title right here in your tabs. So whatever you name this is what you're going to see in your tab. As we scroll down and we look at the HTML document, you can see that we're going to be using the JWplayer 6 in this. We're going to be using the JavaScript for that, which is already done and in the files. You won't have to do anything within the JavaScript. The only thing that you will have to manipulate to implement this xAPI into your Blackboard, SCORM file, or put it on a website is going to be manipulating the HTML file. So, and then adding the video MP4 that you want into the folder. So this here is our header, and then I've styled this so that you can change the line height or the color or the font size or the font to suit your needs. This is just simply a first heading, xAPI JW player template heading. I got a heading 3, which just makes it a little smaller there, so you can put whatever information you wanted to put in there about the video that you're going to be tracking. Then this is our JWplayer. We're using the HTML5 version of the JWplayer. This here will tell the user if there's any sort of an error, and it'll give them a link to link back to if there is an error. This links back to support, but if there's an error in this, it's going to be on your end, so you may want to link them to your website, your frequently asked questions or whatnot. Play count here will be 0, and so when they hit play, it'll start playing. Then other thing, this is a responsive design. I made this responsive by making the width set at 50% and the aspect ratio at 16:9. By doing that, it makes it responsive, so if you're on a phone or whatnot, the video will play fine, or if you turn your phone sideways, it'll work properly no matter what device you're on or how small or how big your screen gets. And then the file is a turntable MP4 file that we got off Pixabay Video, and this is where you put it. I just put some notes in here so you'll know where everything goes. It's going to prompt them for their first name. That first name prompt is going to collect the user information, and that is what we will use to track the user. This is our endpoint, and so this is where we'll be putting the information from our LRS into here in a bit, and this will be our key, our username, our secret, or our password. We'll come back to that in a minute. This is a statement definition. Okay, so now we're getting into our statements, and we can see this is going to be an on pause statement definition. It's going to tell us where it was paused at, the position, number of seconds, duration, all that we sent back to our LRS, so we can see when they paused, if they, and what they did when they paused. Next, we are going to look at our statement. This is our first statement. This is simply your actor, which is going to be their first name. And that's how we're going to track our actor, who's interacting with the video. Then the verb is going to be paused on this one. You can find your verbs at the registry Tin Can API, and I have a link for that there. And then the display will be paused within the LRS. The object is going to be your video. So here in your object ID, you would ideally put a link that talks more about your object or explains more about your object. Maybe tells a developer more about the object, maybe tells a data analyst more about the object. But this is going to be information that would provide more in-depth analysis about the video to whoever you needed to send that to. And then here we're going to have our definition, and this is the title of the statement that you'll see in the LRS. So this is what you're going to see come through the LRS titled as. And then the description will be the description that is sent to the LRS. So this description will also be seen in your LRS activity. And then as we move through, we'll just kind of move through these quickly. All the statements are pretty much the same. This right here just tells you that the statement was submitted successfully, and it logs it in the console log. So if you go into developer mode and you look at that, you can see it's been submitted successfully, and we'll take a look at that here in a bit. So we can see that we have our play count on 1. So when the video is played one time, it sends the statement letting you know the video has been played one time. And again, all the object information would be the same information that you put above. Then the next thing that we're going to do is the skip statement. So this will let you know if anybody skips the video or if they scrub forward or backwards. It should really be scrubbed more than skipped, but the skip verb is what they have, and so that's what we'll be using. Then we're going to be looking at our next verb, which is our mute verb, on and off, so we can tell if somebody mutes or unmutes the video and at what point they muted or unmuted the video. Then we'll go into video completion. So this will let us know if the video was completed by the learner. This will let us know if the video was stopped at any time by the learner and they exited without completing the video. So if you see stopped, you know that they not only did they stop the video, did they pause it, they exited out of the screen and left the video before completing the video. So you can see who completed and who did not complete the video with that statement. And then if there's any sort of an error, it will provide them with this error message, an instance of error. Here we've just added a little bit more HTML, so you can again adjust the font size, line height, color, whatever you'd like to do. This is what you're going to have below your video. So this would be information you would give the learner about the video or about the organization, whatever your company needs, whatever suits your needs there. And then a couple more paragraphs, and then again we'll wrap it all up with another one. Right now I have these linking back to this one's linking back to the GitHub, Phil Gardner, if anybody wants to see his JWplayer and how he did it and wants to utilize his HTML files or whatnot, you can go and download those there. They are a little bit more focused for what he was trying to do, and they're not as generic. So I tried to make this one a little bit more generic so anybody could use this and set this up within their LR or LMS or on their website. So anyway, we're just basically building a web page, and that is how this works. So it's just like if you output a scoring package from Captivate or Storyline and you put that scoring package into your LMS and then you link to that index file, it's the exact same thing here. So you can do that, or you can also put it on your website, link to the index file, and you can track it either way. The great thing about xAPI is it's going to track it if they watch it online, if they watch it offline, however they interact, it's going to track it whenever it has connection to the internet. So let's get into this now that we went over that. Other thing, if you're having issues and you're looking for more stuff, Delven Peck has some great tutorials. His tutorials are on Articulate, Storyline, and so on and so forth. But he's wonderful if you need information there on Storyline. Also, Mel Melloway is another person who's helped me out a ton, and she has great resources here. So be sure to check those out. And then HackID also has wonderful xAPI resources if you just go and you search it there. So these are some of my resources that I utilize frequently when I'm working with xAPI. So there's some resources for you that you can utilize. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and use yet LRS, and we're going to go ahead and put the information we need to send back a statement to our LRS. And you can see right now this is what a brand new LRS looks like. So it absolutely has nothing in here at all, and this is what you'll see when you set yours up. I'm not going to walk you through the setup process as it's pretty self-explanatory. You just follow the instructions. I will put a link to the LRS sandbox so you can also go and sign up for it if you would like to use it. Another one that I use, and the one that I use more often honestly, is Learning Locker. I recommend Learning Locker for anybody who is wanting to set up LRS, especially if you want to set up something of your own that you're going to be using for your business or your consulting work. You can set it up through Amazon Web Server. Super easy. You can set up the free version, or you can use their enterprise version if you're looking for, set something up for a bigger company. So right now, if I'm setting this up, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go to Info. And this is going to give me all the information that I need to set up my xAPI and send my statements. So the first thing we need to do is grab our endpoint. So we're just going to copy and paste this endpoint right here. And next we need our key. So we're going to again copy that key, and we're going to paste it right here before the colon. It's important to note on the endpoint that you have to have this backslash, and I have wrote a note for you so you don't forget, but if you don't have that backslash, it will not work. You have to have that. And then we're going to get our secret key. This is also called the password in some LRSs. So it just depends on just depends on your LRS and what they're calling that. Excuse me. Now that we have this, we're just going to go and we're going to save. I'm using Atom. That is the that's the tool I'm using over here, and I use that as my text editor. So if you're looking for a free, really good text editor, I suggest Atom. It's wonderful, and it has a lot of features, plugins, and it's free. So take a look at Atom. So now we have that. We've saved it. We can actually open up our file. We can see here on our file that I have my MP4 just right here in the folder. And that's what, if we go and we look at here, that's what this indicates, is that it's in the I call it the root folder. I don't know if that's the correct term, but it is in the folder with your index file. So we are going to do that. We're going to open this up, and then we'll just drop that index file in here. We can see it's asking us for our first name. We will type that first name in, click OK. Alright, so good so far. One of the things we can do is we can, if you're want to look in developer mode, you can do so. If you're Google Chrome, you right click, you go developer, then you go to developer tools. So we can see that we have some files not loading right now, but that's okay, because what we need those to, because we don't need those to start doing anything yet. We don't need them to do anything until we hit play. So we're going to go ahead and play the video, so we can see that our video plays when we play the video. When we go over here, we can mute, unmute, pause, rewind, and the video completes. So now let's go take a look. We should have sent statements, because it's, when we go and we look, and we can see the statements in fact did go through. We can see where they were played. So we can look at our activity log here. We'll refresh that. We can see where they were played, stopped, completed. Okay, so let's do this one more time. We'll use a different user this time. We're going to play it. I'll pause it. We'll scrub it or rewind it. Let's mute, unmute, and then let's let it finish. Okay, so let's take a look. Alright, so we can see our statements came back, and we can see that the video was played, paused, skipped, muted, unmuted, stopped, completed. So we can see we're sending everything back, and you can see where it says you can see here where it says this is the title of the statement, this is the description. So we can go in and we can edit those things in our HTML document, and we can make our data a little bit more meaningful for us at this point. So to do that, we will just go to the object, and we would just say, okay, well, this is our company landing page, so we could say X, Y, Z music video. All right. And then this would be the title. And then a description about that. And then once you have that, you could just take this and copy it, and anywhere you have your object, you can just repaste it. You have to be very careful when you're doing this, because you want to make sure that you do not change any of the brackets or even the commas, because if you do, your video will not play. And if you have an issue where your video is not playing, that's the first thing I would suggest looking at. So we're just going to go ahead and come through here. Okay, now that we have that, we'll hit I'm going to go ahead and save this as. Now I'm going to do, because I want to upload the original template for everybody. So let's go ahead and put our new index file here. We will use another username. Go with Bill this time. Just give it a little time to load. We can see this is responsive. So you can see that it plays, it pauses, we can capture our scrub. Okay, user can see if they can hear anything. And it stops. So let's go back to our JWlytics, and we can see Bill is already in here. It is capturing it real time as it happens. So played, paused, skipped, completed. So let's take a look at one more thing. Suppose we play the video and we're like, let's get out of here. Boom. User doesn't finish it. Let's go back and take a look. So we can see that the user stopped the video. They did not finish it. They exited out. So all the data is coming back, and coming back the way we want it. Our object activity now is named what we want it to be named. Our definition is named what we want it to be named. So that is just a little tutorial on xAPI and inserting that into a JWplayer so that you can put it on a website or in your LMS and track your learners' interactions with that player. I will put this up on GitHub so you can get and download the source file, and you can take a look at it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you all for watching me work in the open. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful day.